My name is Aiden. I use she, they pronouns. I am a senior this year. I am vice president of Is Hous, and I am an experienced architecture major with minors in math and professional writing.
I'm Elias. I'm the treasurer of House, and I am studying Japanese and musicology.
My name is Essex and Leticia Brooks. I am president and founder of House. I am in the Residential College of Arts and Humanities with a focus in community engagement and then double minors in dance and African American studies.
It's a lot of things. The biggest part of it is it's an inclusive group of mostly creative people. It's kind of labeled as a artistic queer group on campus, but when it comes down to it, it's just a place where everybody is welcome to be themselves, come hang out. You don't have to be queer in any way to join. Bottom line is just treat people with respect, and you are more than welcome to come hang out.
House stands for honesty, opulence, uniqueness, and strength. And I think I picked House's name. I think at the end of the day, that was me. And it was because that's just the way I think everyone should live. It's be honest with yourself, opulence, celebrate who you are, uniqueness, don't ever change who you are, strength, stand up for yourself.
I guess it means that there is some hope for MSU and colleges in general to be a place where people feel safe 100% of the time, no matter who you are. And I know it's only one aspect of someone's identity, but to know that at least you can feel comfortable with that, it kind of helps everything.
Funny enough, House is really the first queer space that I've been in where I've been openly out about who I am and the whole sexuality, gender journey. It's ridiculous and it changes all the time. And I really liked that within House, it was kind of you don't need a label to be who you are, and if who you are changes or you want to go by a different name, different pronouns, whole 9 yards, let us know, and that was accepted, respected, no questions asked. And yeah, it was just the first open group that I was part of.
House is my baby. Literally. Honestly, probably the thing I devote the most of my time to out of everything at this point. But again, it's just about I just want everyone to have a space. I grew up in an area where it was very easy to find other queer people or other people of color, but I know not everyone had that experience.
Other than just knowing money to a certain degree, I think that, I guess everyone brings their own perspectives, and so, I am a trans man, and so, that in drag is not seen all that often, and so, someone who seemingly rejected femininity, embracing it again is, it's not something people can wrap their heads around all that easily, and so I think kind of challenging even what people think about what drag is important, because I think House is meant for that fluidity.
So we are mainly a drag club, so drag and ballroom performance. We put on a Halloween-related ball.
We spent 3 months planning for last year's ball, so it's still it's a lot of work. And then I know I want to do more class type things this year, whether it be makeup classes or dance classes or just runway and stuff. I want to start doing more of that.
We mostly do drag events, but we also did a clothing drive. We did a little game night sort of deal. We did painting nights.
And I think we raised $700 for my back home LGBT center, the Ruth Ellis Center. So that was a huge thing too. And then I love when we do little stuff. We did a just talk out your issues night spring semester last year.
I think they can expect to have, I guess, less responsibility than they think. Like most clubs, you go into it and you have a goal in mind, whereas with House, we don't expect anything of our members. Like, you can perform, you can just watch, you can simply just be in the space. And like, I guess the idea that a club doesn't have to be something that you're stressed about, or it's like, oh, I'm in this club because I need, volunteer hours. It's like you can just exist in your in college, and it's fine.
Just in general acceptance. So we try to, like I said, really be that inclusive space where, people are safe to be themselves, and if those unfortunate events do happen, we make sure to kind of notify President Stanley and send emails where we can to get support.
I just want House to feel like a safe space for everyone. I want people to feel like they can come to House things and just be themselves, be comfortable, not have to stress about what's, going on in the outside world.
I think education isn't our main goal, but it kind of comes along with being a part of the club. Just because you're surrounded by people that have all these different experiences and know all these different things, that if you spend enough time in the space, you're gonna learn something. But it's not like we're sitting there and it's like, okay, well, do you know about Stonewall? Do you know about this? Like, it's a space where you don't feel embarrassed not to know things, and you will learn.
Reproductive rights are a huge one, because I think people need to realize reproductive rights don't only affect cis women, they affect trans people also greatly. Racial inequality is a big one, representation for queer people.
On the surface level, it's like, queer representation and the exploration of someone's identity, but I think also at the core, to get to those things, you have to support equity with really everything else, like race, poverty. Actually, we are raising money currently for homeless shelters and specifically women in the state of Michigan, because we know that while queer people have this one part of our identity, there's a whole other person behind that too, and you have to support all of a person.
But it's also about putting the voices forward that need to be, because we put out a statement when Roe v. Wade got overturned, and I purposely did not write that statement because I can't get pregnant, so I have my vice president do it. So it's also about that, just putting the right people at the forefront to speak on things.
I certainly think we have pride, individual members, certainly. And pride certainly is all year long, because there's not one month where you don't have to have the strength, I suppose, to continue living as yourself. And while pride kind of makes that more visible, keep being the same person all year round, never stops.
Oh, pride is every day, all the time. All of our e-board members, especially, are very, very passionate about demonstrating pride all year long. And like I was saying, we're a super inclusive group. Whether it's explicitly said every single day or not, we appreciate everybody for who they are. We encourage that creative expression, and just come as you are.
I fully believe pride is year-round. There's no reason for pride to stop in June. It might be the time of year to be extra loud about it, just because of the history and all that stuff. But pride, in my mind, is a 24/7 experience, 365. Pride is an internal thing in my mind. I don't think it's as much so about, and I say this as the person who has flags on everything I own, but it's not about, waving around flags or having everything on your body. It's also includes, the political aspects of saying, we deserve to be treated a certain way. But it also goes as far as just knowing who you are, being open to the experience of learning who you are.
I think we've got some pretty fun events coming up this next year, and I'm hoping that people get more involved.
Join House. It's fun.
I mean, I am the drag in ballroom experience of House.